Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial is going to be on this ombre cut crease that I did using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Angelique. Welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell so you get notified every time that I upload. And let's just get started. So as you can see, I've already done my brows, my foundation, and my contour off camera. So first I'm going to go in with some shadow shields. On the back of them, they have like the little paper that you can peel off. I only do that on the top and the corners. That way that it will stick to my eye, but I don't need the whole thing to stick to my whole face. I put it on the back of my hand and peel it off a couple of times so that it's not so harsh when I pull it off of my eye area. I like to line it up so that it follows the natural line of my bottom lash line, so it goes up just like we would do for a cat eye. First I'm going to go in with the shade Mulberry, and I'm going to go in on an M213, and I'm going to use that to carve out my crease. This is a very important step for me because I have hooded eyes. Actually, I don't think that I really have hooded eyes. I think I just have like a chunk of fat on my upper eye right there, and so whenever I close my eyes, if I have anything down next to my lash line, it will deposit itself like right there where I'm making that crease. So I try to make sure that all of my transition shades and everything are in that area or a little bit above. And then I'm just going to blend that out a little bit. I'm going to go in with the shade Tempera, and I'm putting that on my brow bone because if you start off with like dark colors like this and you lay down a really light shadow like this, it will help you to blend those shades a lot better and they won't look so choppy. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Dusty Rose, and I'm going to use an M506 just to blend that out a little bit better, and I can start blending up a little bit to make the perfect crease, and that light shade that we put down will just help that all blend together and look nice and even. It just makes it so much easier. And then I go in with an M513 with no product on my brush, and I just blend that out some more. Next, I'm going to go back in with the shade Mulberry, and I'm going to use that to deepen up that crease just a little bit more. We did blend it out a lot, so I just want to make sure that I bring that color back a little bit. And then using that same brush, I'm going to also place that on the outer corner of my eye, like the outer, like 1/3, because this is going to be an ombre look, so I just want to lay the darkest shade down first so I have something to blend it into. I'm going to take an E17 and I'm going to just go in with the product in the outer corner, and I'm going to put it on using tapping motions, and then I'm going to wiggle it back and forth and blend it towards the center of my lid, but I'm not going to go all the way to the center of my lid. Just keep it focused on that outer 1/3 of the eyelid. And I'm just going to build the color up because I don't want to go in with too much in the beginning or it's not going to blend out very well. Now I'm just going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I am going to use that to carve out my crease. Like I said, anything that I place near my lower lash line will deposit itself on the top, so that's why I blink all weird like that. I let the concealer go onto the top like that, and then that way I know how high I need to cut my crease. Honestly, you can even go a little bit higher if you want. This is just how I like to do it. On some looks I do like to go a little bit higher, but for today this is as high as I went. And I just take that little precision brush and I make sure that my line is very straight or very even, and then I just blend that concealer out, and I'm going to blend it out into the mulberry shade that we did. And when I get towards the mulberry shade, I'm just going to tap it into it just a little bit, but we don't want to go all the way to the edge. We just want to go to where the mulberry shade starts, and that way those shades will blend together a little bit better. I'm going to take the shade Glistening on a Morphe M167 brush, and I'm going to tap that right over the concealer. I'm going to try to make sure I stay within the concealer lines, and I'm going to put that on the first 1/3 of the eyelid so that that will start to create our ombre effect. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Sultry, and I'm going to focus that right on the center. This is going to be the middle shade of our ombre, and I'm going to make sure that I keep that on the concealer lines too. Now, I looked at this shade and I just didn't feel like it was bright enough for what I was going for, so I decided to go back in with the shade Rose Pink, and I'm going to go right over top of that, and it gives us more of a pinky shade, and it's a little bit brighter, and it shows more of the ombre effect than the other shade did. I felt like the other shade just looked too much like the mulberry shade, so it didn't have a gradient effect like I wanted. So now I'm going to go in with the INGLOT gel liner in the shade 77, and how I like to do this is I like to take a little bit on my brush, and then I will put the lid back on, and I will put whatever product I got out on the top of the lid, and that's what I'll use. The reason why I do this is because gel liners tend to dry out really quick, and so the least amount of time that I keep the jar open, the longer that the gel liner is going to last me. That's my theory. That's what I like to do. So I just put it on the top, and then I use that product. If there's any left over, then I'll take my brush, and I'll probably just wipe it away because I don't take out too much, but you can always, I guess, put it back in. I'm just going to focus that liner right next to my lash line. I like to start at the front of my eye from the inner corner and work my way out. Once I get towards the outer edge, I like to take my brush and I will just flick it up on the line that we've already made with the shadow shield, and that just makes it a lot easier. So I flick it out as far as I want my cat eye to go, and then I'm going to take my brush and try to connect the edge of that cat eye to make a straight line like it's going towards the inner corner of your eye. And that's the best way I know how to explain how to do a cat eye. The most important thing to remember is that you want the end, like flick, to line up with your bottom lash line so that it looks like it's just an extension of that line. And then for the top, you just want to make a straight line with your eye kind of closed towards the inner corner. Next, I'm going to go in with some cleansing cloths, and I wipe away any fallout, and then I'm going to go in with my two favorite concealers you guys already know to prime my under eyes. Then I'm going to take my Morphe Beauty Sponge, and I am just going to blend that out, press it into my skin, make sure that any dark circles or anything are covered, and especially focus that on the inner corner because I don't want it to look too harsh, because we did use a dark shadow today for our crease color. Next, I'm going to go in with the RCMA translucent powder. I use this powder because it's one of the only things, and I've tried a ton of things, but it doesn't settle into any fine lines or make me look creasy or cakey. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Sienna, and I'm going to smoke out my bottom lash line with that using a Morphe R41. I'm just going to go back and forth and blend that out, and then I'm going to go in with the shade NIOR on a flat definer brush, and I'm going to focus that just on the outer 1/2 of my bottom lash line. I don't want to go in too far. And then I'm going to take the shade Mulberry to blend it all together, make sure that it's nice and even and we don't have any harsh lines. Then I'm going to go in with the shade Glistening, and I'm going to focus that on the inner 1/3 of the bottom lash line, and then I'm going to blend it up into where we've already put it on the top. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Perversion mascara just to give my lashes a nice coat of mascara, and then I'm going to put my lashes on off camera. Now I'm going to go in with the Tarte Blush Bazaar, and I'm going to mix those two shades together, and I'm just going to put a little bit on, not too much, because my cheeks are already red today, and so I just want a light coverage. Then I'm going to take the shade Angel, and it's a matte liquid lipstick, so it's going to dry down and not move, and I just use that to line over top of the pink shade in our ombre, just to give it like a little something extra, but it doesn't show up on camera very well, so you can skip this if you want to. But then I'm going to take that same exact shade, and I'm going to use that on my lips to just kind of tie it all together. This shade was part of Kylie's Christmas collection, but it's one of my favorites, so I use it all the time. Even though we have a very dramatic eye, I didn't want to go in with anything too dark on my lips, but I still wanted a little bit of color, and I felt like this shade matched everything really well without looking too offbeat. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Costa Riche by MAC. I first learned about this eyeliner because Makeup by Mario used it on Kim Kardashian like ages ago, and it just has this really beautiful reddish brown tone that really will make your eyes pop. I'm going to focus that on my waterline to make the look just a little more sultry. Then I'm going to go in with my setting spray, and then we're finished. And that concludes my tutorial on this ombre cut crease that I did with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.